Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel, and I am an energy healer and sound alchemist. And I thought I would do a live around what stories are holding you back. So, the only thing that's keeping you from getting you what you want is the story that you keep telling yourself. So, we tell ourselves stories every day to help us rationalize our decisions. And those stories, they then shape our thoughts and then our behaviours or actions, which in turn make up our identity or who we are as a person. But the problem is that sometimes the stories we tell ourselves just aren't true. These false stories can turn into limiting beliefs which hold us back from thriving in life. So do you feel like something is holding you back from achieving a better life? If so, it could be that you have some of these limiting beliefs. So what are limiting beliefs? Well, limiting beliefs, sometimes also called self-limiting beliefs, are false or irrational thoughts that prevent us from pursuing or achieving our goals and dreams. And when we think about those, let's think about where do limiting beliefs come from? Well, limiting beliefs are not something we are just born with, but instead something that we learn as we go through life. And these self-limiting beliefs can form in a number of ways. Often they are formed from the experiences that we have had in our lives, either as a child or as an adult. They can be negative or traumatic experiences, which are more likely to cause the formation of limiting beliefs than positive or happy experiences. It's also very common to learn limiting beliefs by the expectations placed on you by your family, by your culture, or by your religion. And limiting beliefs can hold you back in life because limiting beliefs skew your perception of reality. They cause you to believe something that is not true. Limiting beliefs tend to form a repeating cycle where negative thoughts lead to negative emotions, which in turn lead to negative actions, which reinforces the original negative thought. So, for example, if you had a negative thought that you are stupid, you would likely lead to negative feelings about your self-worth and your confidence. And these negative feelings would then influence your behavior by causing you to avoid challenging situations that might make you feel stupid. But by avoiding challenging situations, you would deprive yourself of the opportunity to learn, which would reinforce the original negative thought that you were stupid. And this cycle would then continue, causing more negative feelings and more negative behaviours in the future. And examples of limiting beliefs. So, for example, if your parents divorced when you were a child, you may not believe in love. And because of this belief, you're likely to push away others and not allow anyone to get close to you, which would reinforce your belief that love doesn't exist. Or let's say that you had bad grades in school, and as a kid, it was because the material was so easy that you were just bored. So instead of applying yourself, you just goofed off instead in class. And in this situation like this, teachers might say that you were stupid or you were lazy and that you'd never amount to anything. Well, this sort of experience could easily produce the limiting belief that you weren't smart and couldn't follow through on anything. And if you adopted that limiting belief, it might affect you later in life. For example, you would choose to skip going to college or university and instead opt for a job that didn't require much in the way of brains. And maybe you would pass up on applying for better jobs because you believed that you weren't smart enough to get them. So, limiting beliefs to ditch for a better 2022. So, now that you understand how limiting beliefs hold you back, I would like to give you some examples of limiting beliefs that are common when it comes to thriving in the areas of health, wellness, and happiness. So, the first one here is prioritizing health, well-being, and happiness is selfish. So, this is a belief that usually comes from a culture, it usually comes from a family or religious teachings. And many people have been told that they need to put everyone else's needs before their own. And I find this self limiting belief is especially common among people that are caretakers, meaning that they have others who depend on them, such as children or elderly parents or a partner. And my favourite analogy for this is the talk that the stewardess gives us on the airplane about putting on your own oxygen mask before helping others with theirs. You are no good to anyone. You're no good to anyone else if you are passed out from the lack of oxygen. Well, the same is true of health and happiness and your well-being. If you are unhealthy and unhappy, those who depend on you will suffer. However, if you are healthy, well, and happy, those who depend on you will see the benefits. Your capacity to help others is limited if you do not take care of yourself. Another limiting belief is I don't have the time. There are two common variations of this limiting belief. They are that either you don't have the time or now is not the right time to start something new. Both of these beliefs come down to priorities and can prevent you from taking actions that would allow you to achieve better health, well-being, and happiness. So, in conclusion, irrational and unhealthy beliefs will prevent you from thriving in life. And believe me, I know from personal experience, I had to do a lot of work in shifting my limiting and self-limiting beliefs. You have core beliefs that guide the decisions that you make every single day. They affect how you interpret the events in your life and how they influence the way that you think, the way that you feel, and then the way that you behave, the actions that you take. Your healthy beliefs serve you well, but the unrealistic, self limiting beliefs you hold on to, and everyone has some unhealthy beliefs, can hold you back and turn into self fulfilling prophecies. Limiting beliefs are very dangerous because they prevent you from pursuing the happy and healthy life that you long for. So, do you recognize any of these limiting beliefs in yourself or in others that you know? Are there any limiting beliefs that you would like to leave behind in order to have a happier, healthier year in 2022? So, let's continue the conversation. So drop in the comments your thoughts around this and around any limiting beliefs that you feel that you have or maybe others around you. But to help you, next time you choose, and the important word is choose, the next time you choose a belief that influences your ability to achieve better health, well-being and happiness, ask yourself these following questions. So for instance, if that means in attending a private healing session or a sound bath is a luxury or that you don't have the time, ask yourself number one, do you believe that? Do you really believe that? Number two, why do you believe that? And really drill down into that. And number three, what do you prefer to believe instead? What do you prefer to believe instead? So depending on your answers, this will leave you in being the victim of the circumstances of your decisions and choices for your life, or could shift you into feeling empowered to make the decisions and choices that will improve your health, your well-being, and your happiness. So thank you for joining me for today's live on limiting beliefs, and let me know in the comments any thoughts or comments you would like to share. So until then, wishing you a beautiful rest of the day, and I will see you again soon. Pura vida.